Hello, hello, hello. Okay. Okay. Hi, guys. Happy Monday night. We got a Scorpio full moon tonight. So, what does that mean? Scorpio full moon means that we are going to be doing some shadow work. We're going to do some shadow work. So, let's rev up. Let's put our strength up and face the truth of ourselves and our shadows, and let's do some important work here, because the work that we do for ourselves is also work we do for the planet, right? The whole. Oh, those are really cool. Oh wow, look at those. Wow. So let's get started. Make sure you isn't astrology space isn't astrology space racism? Oh, that's a funny one. Um, I've never been too into astrology until my husband started trying to prove it wrong. And there's so many things that a transit would go by or a full moon would happen. And then all of a sudden I would have this experience and he would be like, oh, that's right on because this transit or this full moon has this energy. It doesn't mean astrology doesn't mean that we are um, predestined to be affected by that energy. It just means like this is the energy at play. How do we want to use it and be aware of it and use it to our advantage, right? So it's an awareness tool, basically. And so I've been having a lot of fun hearing about it from my husband. So if it's not your thing, don't worry about it. You'll still you can hang out still and enjoy the sound bath that will still work for our shadow work. So shadow work is the subconscious reprogramming, the thoughts, feelings, emotions, form and structure, trauma, wounding, all of that is shadow work and all sits in the subconscious. That was a beautiful explanation. All right. Well, thank you. Um, and so we're just going to work on shadow work tonight. And supposedly the Scorpio full moon can kind of help us with that. So let's dive in for some help with that, right? Um, so I'm going to ask you to tune in. What shadow seems to be following you lately? Think of it as like a vibration. Everything's a vibration, and there's a vibration that seems to kind of be in your field as if it were a shadow following you, like that song, Me and My Shadow. What is your vibrational shadow in this particular moment in time? So just tune in, ask yourself, what's the vibrational shadow that's following me today? What wants to be looked at? Right. And if you notice, when you look at your own like real shadow when the sunlight hits it, whatever, it's distorted, right? So think of your subconsciousness as a distortion of your reality, right? And that's why we want to resolve them. That's why we want to quicken their energy and um, and bring them back up to your authentic vibration, because they're a distorted reality that we're living from. Shadow depends on the time I wake up in the morning. Okay. Well, cool. Well, what would you, great question. All right. Thanks, guys. All right. So let's just work with the present moment, guys. And thanks for being here. We're just diving right into the work, but you could take a moment and invite a friend if you feel like this could be a benefit to them. We're going to get into a singing bowl work, vocal energy healing, and I'm going to do some drumming for you guys. So shattered. So just take a moment, one hand on top of the other on your chest, And just close your eyes a minute. Follow your breath, the inhale, the exhale, and just come to a pause. Just pause. Land here. And just ask, what shadow energy is in my field right now? And you have an opportunity to be with it, gain awareness from it, and integrate it. So that you're no longer living from that shadow reality, but your true reality, your spiritual, your I call it your spiritual center, right? Instead of your subconscious center, we're going to work from our spiritual center, our vibratory, authentic vibrational center. So take a few moments, see if just listening to this little bell can help you come to awareness of what shadow would like to be transformed, transmuted today. Welcome, welcome. Your shadow sits in your subconscious. So if you feel like your shadow is deep in the subconscious where you can't access it, um, we will go into slowing your brain waves down to theta brain waves, and so you can get a little deeper into that subconscious realm and ask that question. Okay. So when the brain is in beta brain waves, it's very hard to access or be aware in that extra sensing way. But when we drop into alpha and theta, this is where we can access these shadows a little bit. And sometimes we can get right into it by just focusing on the breath that just drops us in 17 seconds right into alpha. So depending on how you work and how your awareness works. But if you guys need a little bit more to drop into that subconscious and feel those shadows, we're going to do that. We got someone. Hi there. Hi. Keep it moving. We got a few people over on YouTube tonight. Welcome, welcome. We're doing some shadow work tonight because we have the energy of the Scorpio full moon working with us. So let's do a little exercise to get into the subconscious. I'm going to do a little drumming at 150 beats. Okay, guys. So honestly, to get the whole brain in theta, that would take a little while. But right now we're going to focus on just getting parts of our brain to calm down for theta and have the intention of going into theta. I'm just so wonderful. Well, really, thank you. um, so let's just go into the intention, just slowing down, of being a witness to our subconscious. Okay? And you can change parts of your brain in just about 17 seconds. Okay? Intend, allow, notice. Intend, allow, and notice. So, with your eyes closed, drop in and play witness to these deeper parts of yourself that you might see through your triggers. Perhaps it's a message of not good enough, or feeling wrong all the time, or feeling small, or feeling hidden. Whatever it is, see if you can tap in a little bit of the shadow that you live with that seems to cause some of these triggers in your life. I'm not safe. Perhaps that's a message. I don't feel safe. I don't like my body. I'm alone in the world. I'm always living in lack. I can't be myself. I'll be rejected and judged. So find something to work with tonight. The Scorpio full moon gives us an opportunity to go deep with something that we um, want to integrate and learn about and resolve. Okay. If you want to share it in the comments, maybe we'll find a common theme that we can work on together. So what's the theme we're working on tonight? This is so interesting, guys. Why are the likes looking like that? What is that? That's kind of strange. um, so put in the comments now the shadow that you unveiled tonight. Just something to work with. And definitely share with some people if you feel like this would be beneficial to them. All right. I would love for some of you to play with me in the comments. You don't belong to anyone. Mm. Now, that could be seen as a positive thing or a negative thing. Do you take that as a negative thing? A shadow is something that's distorted in a distorted reality that you live by that's rooted in the subconscious. And when you live by it, you live from a certain form and structure that keeps you locked in a certain boxed way of living. And so when you resolve that shadow, you get to make choices that are outside of that box. You get to be more than your past and your personality. You get to be the infinite being that you are. You get to be the possibilities the endless possibilities that are available to you. So that is what a shadow is. It's kind of something that boxes you in and defines you. Negatively, due to the holiday yesterday, just an overall feeling of never belonging to someone. Okay. Yeah. So, does anyone else feel that shadow, never belonging to anybody? Ultimately, thank you. Thank you for playing and working on this one. And I'm sure you are not the only one that feels that way. And so, what we want to do is look at the opposite of that. So, what energy is at play this month? Well, all I know is that this full moon, well, all energies are at play this month, whereas things are focused. I'm not the astrologer, my husband is, but he was saying that the Scorpio full moon is a time of transformation and looking deeper into your shadow. So that's what we're doing tonight. We're playing with the shadow. We're doing some shadow work. Now, can we do shadow work without a Scorpio full moon? Yes, we can. But I just thought this would be our focal point today. So I'm going to work with Lily's because they were willing to share their shadow and not feeling they belong to anybody. And so this is the idea here. Think about your shadow that you just named, and then think about the opposite of that. I am one with all. Every single human being is a fragment of the one that I am a part of, that I always belong to. And so there is just one energy and all the fragments of the one. And you belong to that. You belong to the one. So feel that relief, and then feel the shadow, right? And we're just going to play with that back and forth in a sound bath. Looking deeper into the shadows, duly noted. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. All right, guys. So let's play with this idea of feeling like you don't belong to anybody and you're alone. And then the opposite, feeling like you are one with all, because that actually is the truth. So when we let go of that shadow, we start we come into the main program is that we are one with all. Okay. So we're playing with the opposites here, the opposite energies. And so that's what I'm going to sing to. And the way this works is I do vocal energy healing. I open it up to source singing, and I just kind of somewhat could be like called like somewhat of like a channel, and we'll play with the intention that we just came up with, and enjoy. And your job is to open up to receive. Okay, here we go. Hi. Hi there. How are you? So take a nice deep breath and take a breath on top of that and fill up and then let out all the rest of that shadow. So that may have started a little bit more awareness about that shadow. It also could have transmuted or transformed that shadow. Well, thank you so much. Um, I just offer my voice to the ether, to God, and we see what happens. So, um, and what happens in these sessions is my soul is talking to your soul, and we're remembering together. We're remembering that oneness together, where we belong, where we belong to the one and the I am, where you are infinitely connected and never alone. So I hope you could feel that. Am I wrong for thinking you shouldn't belong to anybody? Yeah, yeah. So there was the idea of belonging was someone's shadow, meaning like, Mother's Day brought up kind of like a thing where I don't belong to anybody, right? In the 3D realm, like I don't belong to anybody. I don't have a partner. I don't have a parent, or like I don't belong, right? And so we were expanding that out and transmuting that with the sound bath to mean to expand into the truth that we are one with all, right? We are one with all, and we belong because we just are. Right? Yeah, so that's what we were playing with. So tonight we're working on shadow work, and we were working with the opposite, right? Of not feeling like you belong to anybody, and then that felt negative, that felt like sad, and then the opposite of we are always in a belonging state. We are always um, one with, and that feels good. Yeah, belonging to a group, belonging to a community, belonging to a family. So when we don't have those elements in our life, it's really important to expand out and really feel your sense of belonging in the whole of oneness, right? Because the opposite of belonging is complete disconnection. Right. And complete, so there's detachment and disconnection, and then there's attachment and connection, and they're not really opposites of each other, because being disconnected is almost being like agnostic and atheist. It's kind of like you just want to disconnect and not be part of any kind of um universal energy or infinite consciousness, right? It's a denial of that. But we're never disconnected. We're always part of the infinite intelligence of source energy, of God force. But we can think we're disconnected, and we can think we don't belong, because there's so many layers of existence. There's a lot of layers of existence that we have different programming in, that sometimes convinces us that we're disconnected and we don't belong anywhere. Can I repeat that again? Which part? Let's see. We are one with the whole, with infinite intelligence. Now we have layers of existence that program us into feeling and thinking that we are disconnected. But we're always connected in to the whole infinite intelligence, because we are an extension of love from that infinite intelligence. We are a part of it. We are it. And so we're never disconnected in any way. So what I help people do is with my sound is that bringing that connection, awareness forward, bringing our spiritual center forward, bringing that infinite intelligence that we are, an extension of forward. So we live from that true reality rather than the false reality of our subconscious and shadows, which is that distortion, right? We talked about an actual shadow when you're standing outside in the sun, when you see that, depending on where the sun is and stuff, it's always a distorted reality. I always like my my shadow because I look long and lean, and I'm kind of short. I'm short, and so it's a distorted reality, right? And we don't want to live from that distortion. We want to live from the truth. Um, yes, we believe in the thoughts to be true. So we want our knowingness and um, revelations. We want to live from knowingness and beingness and revelation from our higher mind rather than thoughts, feelings, and emotions and programs from our lower mind, our subconscious. So that's what I help people with. And interestingly enough, a lot of people talk about the pure tones that come through my voice. And this is an interesting thought today that came up. When I first started singing, I had a very fast vibrato. Like, I had a lot of tension in my throat, and, some people thought it was pretty cool, but, like, you could hear that it just when I hear my voice, like, 20 years ago, there was this really fast vibrato, and it's from tension. Well, what feeds physical tension is our subconscious shadows. So, I was thinking today, I was like, "Oh, wow, when did my voice become more pure toned?" It happened when I started enter after 2012, when I started entering my consciousness work and Reiki and doing a deep shadow work and release. My voice became more pure. The vibrato went away. I never took classical. I'm not classically trained. I was already a professional singer before I took a year of some voice lessons just for the fun of it. But your voice can get more pure and open up through the shadow work and through the root, releasing the root of stress and anxiety and wounding. Your voice opens up because your voice is a superpower to shift energy. So that is how I teach people in my 9-week program. Is we go through this whole vibrational detox program to get the voice back. Let's see. I had an epiphany. The core belief of not belonging is not our actual belief, but our greatest fear. Yeah, love that. It's our greatest fear. And according to the Course in Miracles, we have this fear. We have this fear of being not belonging and disconnection because there was this initial split from infinite intelligence. We had this curiosity. And so when we left the building, what we thought from infinite intelligence, we had this guilt and we had this fear that we would not be let back in. But there's no being let back in. There's never any separation. And infinite intelligence says, you were never separate. I would never leave you. And that's what that prodigal son story is from the Bible. It talks about the prodigal son who got curious and wanted to walk away from the father and wanted to leave, and then it goes through, loses all its money, just goes through the human condition, and then comes back, and the father is there with open arms and said, "Oh my gosh, come here, son!" Like, always welcome. So infinite intelligence, source nature, God is always welcoming us back the moment we have the realization that, oh, it's always been there. I've always belonged. Yes, I am a student of A Course in Miracles. I'm going through it uh, a second time right now. It's some good stuff. It's some good stuff. So let's do another sound bath. Let's do another Scorpio sound bath, shall we? Um, So, yes, I love talking about the Course in Miracles and doing some debriefing about the workbooks section. So, if you guys want some of that tonight, I'd be happy to go get that. My book's in the other room. 5 years. Oh, wonderful, Teresa. You probably have some great insights. Maybe we'll do that a little later. So I'm on here 90 minutes tonight. So usually I'm on here till almost 9 o'clock. So Mountain Time. All right. So this is a crystal bowl and it's an E frequency. And this E frequency is for the third chakra. It's for empowerment. True empowerment comes from knowing who and what we are. It's when we have the quickening and the soul remembers. We allow the soul to infiltrate our mind and say, we remember who and what we truly are. That is true empowerment. Psychological empowerment is that psychological confidence and talking yourself into it, which that's the beginning. That's great. But I've practiced that. And I've also practiced this true empowerment that really comes from knowing who and what you are and what you are the whole of. And that comes with an unwavering trust and desire to serve, to be of service and be the holy fool. Like people's judgments just can't touch you. It just doesn't matter, right? So that is a powerful place to be when other people's judgments really can't ruffle your feathers. So that is true empowerment. But that is when we've worked on our shadows and we've really come into the wholeness and of ourselves, which can happen in an instant, really can. So this is for that third chakra, releasing and balancing and harmonizing the disempowerment that might sit in that third chakra. Is this too loud, guys? YouTube, TikTok, is this too loud? Oh, we've dropped down below 10. If you guys want to, if you would share it with a few more people or keep the likes going so we can get this in people's For You pages. Okay, thanks. Thanks, Lily. Thanks for the shares. I appreciate that. So drop into that power center at the solar plexus. Let this sound infiltrate that third chakra. See what wants to roll out to be made aware of. See what you can witness. Let it be seen and heard. And let it know the truth. Our power comes from infinite intelligence, and that is never lost. That was for our third chakra. We're talking about that empowerment. Heart connection is is life. This is my friend Annie, guys. Say hi to Annie and go follow her too. She's an amazing, um, has amazing posts. She's a channeler. She does amazing work. She is definitely a person to follow here. Good evening, my friend. Ah, we're gonna just take a sigh now. Ah, we're just integrating and witnessing and maybe even resolving some of the shadow. You are welcome. You are welcome. Thanks for joining us. All right. Let this be a reminder of the energy of your innocence. You got to go now. Okay, Grammar, Guardian Guide, you go. Have a wonderful night. Thanks for dropping by. Appreciate you. Let this simple chime remind you of your innocence, of your truth. Doesn't it feel good? This is a Koshi chime. I love these. Your innocence is your truth because the truth of you is whole and complete. It's love, it's peace. And to me, that's what innocence is. It's your wholeness before all the stories of the human condition started to weave its way in front of you. Does that make sense? Because the Course in Miracles talks about the truth. The truth of us is really that innocence, that wholeness, that love, that peace of the infinite intelligence. Yeah, yeah. So it's a beautiful thing. So one of the things my husband wrote in our vows 22 years ago, he said, he'll protect my innocence. Such a beautiful line. Protecting each other's innocence. And what that means is protecting each other's wholeness. Yeah, that's beautiful, right? And so when we're functioning from the reality, that reality, we're not functioning from shadows. We're functioning from a true reflection rather than the distorted reflection of the shadow. So, how many times have we walked through our day being at the whim of that distorted reality? When we've gotten flustered or we've gotten triggered, we've gotten reactive. That's all coming from the voice of fear, that distorted reality that hangs out in the subconscious. And when we grow a strong witness level of existence, we can start to really see the shadow at play. It might take a little while, right? It might take a day, it might take an hour, might take 10 minutes, but or maybe we're right on it in that second. But that's the miracle moment in the Course of Miracles, is when you realize you're functioning from shadow, from the voice of fear, the ego, rather than your wholeness. And you build that witness until it's instantaneous, right? But it's okay because there's no time in the realm of allness, so it doesn't matter how fast or slow you get it. That's only in the human realm. The tiny mad idea that we believe to be true. Yeah, it's kind of madness, right? And so one of the things that I teach is the metaphysical voice. I'm actually working on a book called The Metaphysical Voice. And the idea is that there's two voices that everything kind of goes under: the voice of fear, the voice of love. And when we sing out the voice of fear, we can process it. We can move the energy of it. We can let it be acknowledged, seen, and heard, and processed and integrated. This is the idea of being sung, right? And then when we're singing oops, from the voice of love, we have this way of expanding consciousness and oneness with our voice. And this is this practice that I call being sung. Um, yeah. So let's see. It used to take me days to not subscribe to that mad idea, but through prayer and meditation. Yeah, Teresa. Yeah. And I would say voice. That's my thing right now. Is it's been my thing for a long time. Is that we all have the superpower of voice. So prayer, meditation, and moving frequency with voice is really, really powerful. It brings you to the stillness of your soul. It can process anger, grief. It can process frustration, overwhelm. And when that is processed, you're never bypassing it, right? You're processing it. And then where are you left? With the truth of yourself, that you're the spiritual center of your wholeness, that is you. And so that's what I play with: the metaphysical voice, being sung, helping people activate their own voice for this type of, I call it a built in superpower. Anyway, guys, let's say I have 20% left, so we're good for a little while. So that was the third chakra. It's important to work on that third chakra for that empowerment. Annie, do you have any awareness tonight on this Scorpio full moon? Any awareness for us? Hi, Allison. How are you? So this is a tuning fork. It's a 528 hertz tuning fork. This is the little activator. The 528 hertz, it's a solfeggio tone. Supposed to be very good for raising your vibration. Hi. Welcome, welcome. Everyone say hi to Allison. Welcome her in. Nice to have you here. Thank you. YouTube's like, what is going on over there? So let me explain, guys. So over on TikTok, you can give someone this little heart, and it's a heart and has these little hands. And so whenever I get one, I usually do this. And the moon of deep release, of letting go of what tethers us to past, making much room for new. Beautiful, Annie. That's exactly what we've been doing here. That is exactly. We've been working on the shadow work, the distortion, the distorted shadow reality, and tuning in to what shadow is creating that reactivity that creates that path of anger, blame, shame, guilt, right? So let's do another layer of this. Let's do another round. Think of these false realities of shame, anger, blame, guilt, right? Overwhelm. So go into them. What was your day like today? Did you experience any of those shadow sides? And if you have, name it in the comments. Name that frequency in the comments. What is it? Shame, guilt, anger, blame, sadness, overwhelm, bored, whatever it is. That is not the truth of you. That is your shadow, and that's a distorted reality. Name it in the comments now, please. Name it in the comments now, yeah. Name it in the comments now, yeah. Name it in the comments now. Shame, all right. Name it in the comments now, yeah. Name it in the comments now. Woo! Name it in the comments, name it in the comments, name it in the comments now. The shadow of miscommunication. Oh, sister, yeah. Okay, we've got shame and shadow of miscommunication and fear. Yes. Anger and blame. Oh, we're feeling it all. All of those, particularly overwhelmed shame and resentment. Okay. Shame. Let's work with shame because honestly, shame really lives at all of them, right? Because if we're angry or we're overwhelmed or we miscommunicate or we have fear, there's a lot of shame for not being perfect, right? Would you say that that's kind of like a tie that goes around each one? A lot of times as humans on the awakening journey, we have a little bit of shame from not really getting it fast enough. I know that is definitely my story. Hi, Azaris. Oh, glad to have you here. Another one of my people. I love Azaris. All right. Welcome, welcome. Everyone say hello to Azaris. So let's work on that shame frequency. So what does shame frequency feel like? It's probably pretty dense, pretty slow. So, Azaris, we're working with the Scorpio full moon, and that means we're working with letting go of some shadows. Um, Thanks for that follow, or thanks for that share. Thank you, thank you. All right, guys, so we're going to work with shame frequency. And so tune in. Where is that shame frequency living in your body, in your chakra field, in your emotional IQ? What does your intuition try to tell you about shame before it happens? So just come into receiving mode and see if we can talk to that shame through these sounds and see if we can bring it to a understanding and a remembering and seeing if we can resolve it into the whole. Feel the ripples, feel the silence. Feel the shift. Thank you, Maisie. So, guys, we're talking to the frequency of shame. So, tune in. Did it feel heard? Did it quicken? Did it resolve? That's how working with frequency and voice. Oh, thank you. We got some hearts going over here. Thank you so much on YouTube. All right, I see your hearts. I see them on YouTube. Yay! Thanks for that share. Thanks so much. It is cleansing. And your voice can do that too. So guys, if you're interested in learning how to activate your voice for this type of healing work, schedule a free discovery call. It's over there on my bio link. It's really powerful work to activate your voice to do this work even on your own. That moved energy very well and also sounded well. Thank you, Annie. Thank you. I'm glad. This is source at work. This is that level of consciousness where we're being the frequency of wholeness and infinite intelligence that speaks to and quickens those shadows. Yeah. Okay, guys, talk to me. That shadow of shame can really hold us back, right? The shadow of shame. We just quickened it. We said hi to it. And we let it know that it's okay. There's no need for shame. There's absolutely no need for shame. There's no need for it. Shame has us hiding under a blanket. It has us playing small. It has us feeling guilty. And when we expand out and know the truth of ourselves, there's just you can't even do that anymore. Shame can be paralyzing. Teresa, yeah. Yeah, it really can be. So no more hiding, guys. We don't have to hide. Our human self can do kind of just silly things. Just the human condition. And when we really truly forgive in the Course of Miracles way, which is just remembering, oh yeah, I don't have to hide. I'm an infinite being. I'm whole. I'm love. I'm peace. I forgot for a little while, But, oh, now I'm remembering, and all that the shame's trying to take credit for and hide doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We just come into our wholeness and say, "Oh, yeah." And as light workers and star seeds and people on the awakening journey, we can truly have a lot of shame if we aren't running our lives just perfect, or if we slip off the wagon and we react or we yell, God forbid. Um, um, so let's let go of that shame. What started your spiritual awakening? Honestly, my spiritual awakening started when I was very young, when I was getting hit with a hairbrush. And I dissociated and looked down on the person doing that and saw them with the eyes of Christ and said to myself, they know not what they do. And I could still feel myself loving this person and seeing them as a human stressed. And I was 4. So I had that revelation about that past. I always remembered that moment in my life. And I was like, how was I remembering? How was I seeing that person as good? Like, what was happening? And then as I learned about awakening, I was like, oh, I was having a moment of revelation of seeing the truth of them, even though they were acting something else out. So that started when I was 4. So I see spiritual awakening as a journey, a life journey. And I know my friend Annie, Heart Connection is Life. We both agree on this way, that spiritual awakening is. I mean, that's the moment I remember. But I mean, gosh, I don't know how many lifetimes or realities I've been living. So I mean, it's just from the minute we think we have been disconnected from Source, we start our awakening journey. And it's slow at first, and then we start remembering, and so there might be little significant points along the way, but really we're always in this phase of awakening and ascending and going back home, and then we do the cycle again. So different souls are always, they're born in kind of this gestation period to pop into awakening, and then they start that journey of awakening and ascension. Yeah. There's a really great book. Where is it? It's the Bhagavad Gita Revealed. And so this is by Satshri, and he explains this awakening process and ascension process. And he really explains it very well. So that book is called The Bhagavad Gita Revealed by Satshri. Consciousness awakens. It is a natural path of growing awareness. I love how you explain things, Annie. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, on this Scorpio full moon, what else do we want to pay attention to? What else? What other shadow? Oops. What other shadow would we like to say hi to? Be seen and heard? Yeah, let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments. Here's some lessons that I've written down from the Course in Miracles. I'm going to let you guys light up the chat and see where we want to go with things. And I'm going to read these things for a minute. Okay, we got injustice. Okay, great. It says, Spirit, let's see. God's will for me is perfect happiness. This is the truth because there is no sin. That's something from the Course in Miracles. God's will for me is perfect happiness. This is the truth because there is no sin. Ooh, that's a powerful one. So, injustice, the idea of injustice. Let's sit with that energy a minute. Injustice. I definitely feel this energy, this unjust thing. But the thing is, when we are feeling the energy of injustice, we're seeing the non-truth of another party, of another person. Because if anyone can be polarized in an unjust situation, which mean one's a victim and one's the perpetrator, right? They're on the trauma wheel. And so when you study the Course in Miracles, there would be no injustice. People would come with contracts and they're just acting things out to awaken the truth of wholeness. So there really is no injustice if you see everyone as whole and in these contracts and working things out. But yeah, so really feel into that energy of injustice. That means that someone's weak, that someone's not whole, someone's life is happening to them instead of for them, type of thing. And so that energy of injustice, we can look at it two ways here. We can look at the opposite, right? Injustice and wholeness, right? Injustice and complete balanced fairness. Right. So if we have this, there's different laws of the universe that you could be taking a look at in a vibratory way. Law of vibration says, like attracts like. So the justice of that is that you can shift your vibration, right? You can shift your point of focus. Um, the injustice energy really comes when the person has not popped open their awareness yet, and they are in the victim stage of consciousness, right? So there's four, according to Michael Beckwith, there's these four stages of consciousness, which I really like using because it's simple and clear. And that first stage is victim. And the injustice shadow can only happen in the victim stage of our consciousness. Social injustice is just another energetic contract and another vibration. So it doesn't matter if it's a collection or if it's one individual. It's the same vibration. Um, so Abraham Hicks would talk about like a collective consciousness of injustice will they're still they're still in the victim level of consciousness. um, so how do they pop into being empowered and being an empowered people, right? So that's how we get on every Tuesday morning and we vibrate the frequency of love for social collectives, because until a social collective starts to get off the victim wheel, they're going to keep creating these injustices. So this is how polarity works, right? If there's a frequency of injustice, then it has to be the polar opposite. There's always going to be this dance. And so when you get off that teeter totter, a vibrational teeter totter, and you realize that we don't have to live in a polarized reality, whether it's one person or groups, social groups, they start to change. Um, so the one is no different than the all, right? Like one social group is no different than the all or the one. Like it's all the same thing and they're all in the same contract, and It's just this play of vibration. So when you have a social group that feels that they're being treated unjustly, you have a collective that's creating a vibrational resonant field that there's two or more people vibrating and aligning with the same frequency. That creates a powerful resonant field, which is a reality. So that social structure is they're all vibrating in that certain injustice frequency. And to change it, there would have to be two or more people to vibrate a different frequency and build that collective within that social collective. And that's why I feel it's really important to meet every Tuesday morning. And like, so tomorrow when we meet for 3 minutes of love, um, Annie, we could send that in to one of those social groups you're talking about. So on a vibrational level, that's how that's working. Like if you get out of the story and the levels of existence and emotions around it, it's just vibration and more than one person vibrating the same time, that injustice and that victim consciousness. But let's do it right now. So we're holding the polarity of injustice and then fairness, right? Injustice and fairness. Now this polarized seesaw goes away when we see everything as whole and loving and balanced and at peace. When we go beyond the story and we see them whole and we see the strength of them in that wholeness, then we realize they have the capacity to shift the story of injustice once they glean the lesson from it. So let's have that as our intention, that a social construct, the social constructs on this planet could be seen as whole, and they could be seen as finding their strength in that wholeness and that life is happening for them, and they would get that nugget and they would pop out of the victim consciousness and head into manifesting consciousness. Make sense? Here we go. Hi, Mark. Welcome. So let's just tap into our power. Hi, happy full moon, everybody. Um, I'm gonna have to run and get my power supply in just a few moments. So happy full moon. We are transmuting injustice. We're transmuting shame. We are transmuting that. And the way we do that is through remembering our wholeness, remembering the wholeness of every individual on the planet. They're whole, they're complete, they are love, they are peace. Now, that's their spiritual center. They might be acting out their shadows and their contracts in this realm. And when a group of people do that, it can look like social constructs of victim and perpetrator. Um, so we do the work. We do the work because there is only one. So when we do the work, we are part of the one. We heal and we send that consciousness to all the fragments of the one. So injustice and victim mentality starts healing. The more we heal it within the microcosm, it starts healing in the macrocosm. We are remembering. We are remembering. We are remembering. Hey, hey, ho, ho, hey. All right, guys, I am going to go get the power supply because I only got 7% here. If Annie is still here, if you want to do any commentary on what came through for you around injustice, we'd love to hear your perspective. Be right back, guys. There we go. Alrighty, guys. Let's see. All right. Instead of focusing on points of friction, focus on where and how we can meet well. Okay, beautiful. So it's a matter of focus. So that is how we do. We start uniting. And Annie, Heart Connection is Life has that. I love what she's saying there. It's a point of focus. And so when we can focus on where we meet rather than where we're different, that's when we're starting to be the vibration of the oneness, right? Of the allness, right? We're seeing the vibration of how we be and interweave together. So, all right, I think I'm gonna say goodbye to YouTube because I'm gonna focus on some stuff over here on TikTok, and I'm gonna see if we can bring someone up on here. So yeah, so I will see you guys tomorrow for 3 Minutes of Love at 8:45 a.m. Mountain Time. So goodbye to YouTube. We'll see you tomorrow morning. All right, and so you